Thank you very much for the 10,000 gold. Apparently, Slasher got interviewed here on Fox News. It's a big deal.
The glorification of violence in our society. Mm-hmm. This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace. It is too easy today for troubled youth to surround themselves with a culture that celebrates violence. We must stop or substantially reduce this, and it has to begin immediately.
Why the fuck why the fuck does he have to do that? Like, everything that he said was basically true, minus the video games thing. Yeah, people do. We do live in a society that glorifies violence. Absolutely. Like, think about all the, you know, like...
But don't show a titty. If you show a titty, you're fucked. You show a nipple, fuck you.
You're done. Banned 30 days minimum. Easy fucking game. Like, guys, yeah, this is so fucking stupid. Yeah, I feel like the whole idea of, like the American idea of solving problems with violence, like, oh, well, nobody'd say this around me or I'd hit them or something like that. Imagine being like that. Like, and this is like a common thing, and people think that they're badasses for saying stuff like this. And then you get surprised that people do things that are extremely violent as well. Yeah, Antifa. Well, it's not just Antifa, right? Antifa, yes, they do that too, but it's everybody. Like, even on like a personal level, they think that, like, let me tell you something. In my opinion, right, this is for, like, you know, a social interaction inside a society, right? So, like, you're talking to somebody else. Nothing that person tells you outside of, like, a threat that they're going to kill you or something like that. I've never had to solve a problem with violence that wasn't, I never have to, like, initiate violence to solve a problem. It doesn't happen. Like, people that do that are crazy. And in the U.S., this is somehow, like, accepted. A pretty violent person in my head. Well, yeah, there are times all the time where I think a lot of violent things in my head, and they stay in my head. I don't talk about them. I don't, you know, act like a badass because I said that, oh, I'll beat this dude's ass or something like that. It's fucking ridiculous. It's childish.
President Trump blaming video games as one of the reasons behind mass shootings in the U.S. This as lawmakers struggled to agree on ways to prevent future gun violence, and demands for action rising after the massacres in Texas and Ohio that left 31 people dead. Rod Slasher Breslow is a competitive gaming leader and a sports consultant. You were here just last week to help me understand and explain to everybody about the benefits of Fortnite and these young people getting together in these big competitions, making a lot of money. But then we have these shootings. President Trump wasn't the only one saying that this weekend. Here's House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, similar sentiments.
The idea of these video games to dehumanize individuals, to have a game of shooting individuals and others. I've always felt that is a problem for future generations and others. We've watched from studies shown before of what it does to individuals.
Rod, you're part of this community. You've been fighting back against this sentiment for a long time. How do you respond to that?
I mean, I've been watching a lot of the guests and interviews on Fox News, and it has been very frustrating as someone who comes from the video game industry.
Damn, yo, they actually brought him out to fucking sit there, like, on studio. They didn't, like, have him in, like, you know, they didn't have him call in with a green screen. They actually had him come out. This is a big thing.
Personally been playing first-person shooters in these games for, you know, 15, 20 years, and I have never had any type of intention to go out and perform real-life violence. And that same sentiment is for everyone that plays video games. Video games are an international, worldwide phenomenon, played in every single country in the world, including these first-person shooters.
What about in Antarctica?
Worldwide, but these things only happen here in America. We do not see or have that violence anywhere else in the world, even though everyone else is still playing those games.
Dan Patrick is the Lieutenant Governor of Texas.
Pretty sure there's a lot of violence in other places in the world. I don't know if that's really accurate, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that it's obvious that video games are not, you know, the cause of the violence, regardless of that. Why is gun violence? I mean, like, there's plenty of other violence, right? It's like, I don't know. I feel like if you're stabbing somebody or beating somebody up, is that worse than doing it with a gun or better? Like, I don't know. If somebody gets killed, it seems like it's the same fucking thing.
This is, of course, one of the shootings, the El Paso shooting, happening in his state. He had this to say about a soldier fantasy. Watch this.
This manifesto, he talks about living out his super soldier fantasy on Call of Duty. We know that the video game industry is bigger than the movie industry.
I read the manifesto. That's not what he said. That's literally not what he said. Like, because there was like an excerpt from it that I looked at on Twitter or something like that. I forgot where it was. That's actually not what he said. It's like, it's just not. I'm not going to show it, right? Because I don't know how this is like against the rules or whatever, right? But he just
definitely can't fucking show it.
Yeah, just not going to show it, right? It's not what he said. Like, I don't know why. Like, this is the same issue. Like, I mean, remember what I was talking about with like the Alinity thing, and everybody blew up over that because I said that they were exaggerating things. And it's like there are plenty of bad things that anybody has done, right? That she did, and they could focus on that, but instead of focusing on the things that actually happened, they created an exaggeration of what happened, and then people don't take it as seriously. This is exactly what they're doing here. This person probably did do a lot of bad things, but because they're exaggerating it, it calls everything into question. I don't know about you guys, but like whenever I read an article and I see one inconsistency, I immediately discount the article. I just assume that it's bullshit. Because the other things that I just don't know as much about are probably wrong too.
Yo, can you log off until you're done?
Oh, can we report this person? Everybody, let's all report him. Yeah, report the person I'm treating. Yeah, everybody, let's go target him, report his name. We'll give him a little vacation there. Okay. Did I actually take the gold? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, well, that's fucking blood money. All right, let's see. Yeah, report. And, yeah, he'll get suspended for that. Okay, just give me 1 second here. I guess I will go over to, if he keeps opening, let me just put him on ignore or something like that. I thought I did. Okay, let's go. Sorry, I'm going to get back to this.
Industry and the music industry combined. What's changed in this country? We've always had guns, we've always had evil, but what's changed where we see this rash of shooting? And I see a video game industry that teaches young people to kill.
Okay, so he's making the case that if you have especially these shooter games where you can actually basically dehumanize somebody, he's making the case that maybe that is a problem.
Yeah, and it is total nonsense that it sounds like the same politicians that would do the same thing 10 or 15 years ago, whether it's blaming Grand Theft Auto or Marilyn Manson and metal music to try to push the issue aside from anything that is actually happening. All forms of entertainment, whether it's video games or movies or music, do not directly influence someone to have violent acts. And to perpetuate that stereotype is hurting the entire discussion and is moving away from the real issues that are going on here, most namely guns and the access to the gun issue. I mean, I've seen a lot of people talking about it. People don't want to be taking away people's guns in this country, but there has to be a better discussion on you being able to acquire them.
Even if you're not a fan of gun control, even if you don't want gun control, there's like 8 other things that happen at the same time as gun control, right? Like mental health, etc., right? So even if you're one of the people that thinks that guns are completely fine, everything is okay, these people talking about this dumb shit is still something that should make you mad, because it's making the entire conversation focused on something that doesn't matter. So even if you're a complete, like you have 800 guns in your house or whatever, you still shouldn't like them talking about it, because they're still making the issue about something that's complete bullshit.
And everything around that. And there are other accelerated issues like mental health that go on.
Let me ask you about this, because we're going to talk to Jonathan Morris in the next segment about this idea that of young people who are, young men in particular, who are disaffected from their communities, loners, maybe in their rooms, but they find these online chat rooms. But it's a misconception to think that those are the people that are actually participating in games.
She means incels.
Yes.
As you were showing us last week.
Incels and doomers. That's basically it. Incels, doomers, neets. What are the other ones?
Boomers.
No, not boomers.
Zoomers.
They're watching the show. Zoomers are on Fortnite. They're not doing it. It's incels, weebs. Probably not weebs. Maybe not weebs. Doomers. Not furries. Who else? What are doomers? Look it up. MGTOW. Yeah, I guess that's kind of like the, I don't know if it's like incel or whatever. MGTOW's not really incel. It's a little bit different. I know the difference, but sure, right? Like basically incels. Alt-right, no. I mean, like, I don't know about like alt-right. Like one of the guys that went on to shooting did have like, I think he did like a bunch of political shit and he was like a white supremacist or something like that. I never read anything beyond the excerpt about the super soldiers thing. I have no fucking idea what the guy said. I have no idea. But that's what I've been hearing. Redditors.
You think Redditors are gonna leave the house and give up their precious karma just to shoot some people?
Yeah, if you die, you don't get to take your karma with you.
Food.
It's actually true, yeah.
People who are playing games with people all around the world, they have more friends than they can count.
Yeah, it really is a misconception of people thinking that people are sitting in their basements or whatever playing games. But in reality, especially with the current way that games are gone, everything is online and there's a lot of international competition, whether it's video games or esports. People are communicating with other people from...
So how can you say that it's 164 million people playing video games? And like, like this is not 164 million, right? Because I'd say like 100 million of those are moms playing Candy Crush, which I think is different. Right? Like, I mean, I think there's different tiers of being a gamer. There is my dad who has played Pong in the 1970s and maybe will like watch me play PUBG, but he's played video games a little bit. Gatekeeper? It's not really gatekeeping, right? It's just explaining different tiers of people that I would consider gamers, right? So, for example, a golfer. So, if you have played golf 3 or 4 times in your life, I would not consider you a golfer. If you're like, there's plenty of other examples of that too, like people that are not classified by a behavior. I think that the way that you exhibit the behavior that you're being classified by has to do with should you classify somebody as a gamer or not. That's not gatekeeping at all. That's common sense. Golfers are gamers. Yeah, give me a fucking break. 100% gay infographics says adults play video games, not just gamers. Well, the point that I'm making here is that like, what they're talking about is not people playing Candy Crush. Like, let's just be honest here. You're talking about people playing first-person shooter games and games that kill other people. There's not 164 million people doing that one thing.
Well, pack your bag.
Are communicating with other people from around the world every day, and it really is a community of people meeting each other, meeting up, talking to each other, and really get friend groups that you're not able to. For a lot of kids out there playing games at home, being able to sit there and play games with other people is what uplifted them and is what really brought them into a new light when maybe they were in a dark place. And
that's the reason why everybody fucking loves Classic WoW. That's the whole fucking reason. That's the reason why everybody loves Classic WoW. Is specifically because of that. Is you could be alone, you could have no fucking friends, you could like, for me personally, right? I was like fucking, I was poor as shit, I was a loser in school, everybody had better shit than, I wasn't even a loser in school, it's not even true. I was poor, right? We were poor, but like, I wasn't a loser. I had plenty of friends in school. But I did feel like, I felt like I didn't have a chance, right? Nobody took me seriously. You know why? I was fucking 15, 16 years old. Like, I wouldn't take a 15, 16-year-old seriously now. Like, I get it. Like, in context, like, yeah, of course I wouldn't take myself seriously. I was a fucking idiot back then. But whenever it's me, I'm like, yeah, fuck that shit. But I can go on the game, and I can actually be really good at it. And it gives people an even playing field. I think it helps a lot of kids develop confidence. There's a lot of good things about games.
Games are a thing that brought people together, and really that is what should be noted more for.
So how frustrating is it for the gaming community to listen to, as you're saying, politicians who are using arguments that they've been using for 10 or 15 years, even if it was movies back when I first worked on Capitol Hill?
Yeah, I mean, it really is ridiculous. I mean, for me to hear, it's also to watch Fox News and see people come on.
Well, it's not just Fox. I mean, they're everywhere.
It is.
It's not even people. Like, don't blame Fox for this. Like, yeah, I mean, it's partly Fox, but the people that they're bringing on are elected representatives of the country. Like, this is not an outcome of Fox News. Of course, they are going to interview people who are elected representatives that determine the laws, because those are the people that matter. The problem is that the people that matter, that are making the laws, think this dumbass shit. Elected? Well, yeah, they have been elected, right? I mean, am I wrong about that? Like, I mean, wait, what do you mean? Elected retarded Republicans? Well, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure there's people that are fucking retarded that are Democrats, too. It's not like Republicans have a monopoly on being stupid. Most of America is stupid. Yeah, I know, but it's like it's not Fox. It is partly Fox News' fault. Yeah, sure, right? But like, yeah, they shouldn't have people that aren't there, and like they had some of the anchors saying bad stuff about it. But the core issue, right? Who cares about what some news anchor says? That doesn't matter. What matters is whenever the person who's elected that actually goes into Congress and writes a law thinks that video games are causing people to go on shooting rampages. That's what matters. It's not Fox News' fault for interviewing the people that write the laws. It's what they should do. Even if they say really stupid shit. More people should know about it.
Not, but you know, it's including Trump, to see him continue to perpetuate the myth
Jesus
that video
Christ.
games and other forms of entertainment media like music or movies are really influencing the youngsters out there to do these acts is ridiculous, and we need to move on from these topics to really get into why this is continuing happening, because we don't want to see shootings in America, and we don't want our favorite hobby, which is gaming and esports, which only helps people to continue to be playing.
There was a study from Oxford. It said there was no evidence for a critical tipping point relating violent game engagement to aggressive behavior. There are other studies indeed, and of course we have this from the Royal Society of Open Science. They're right there. You can see it. That would be from Oxford. Rod Slasher-Breslow, thanks for coming in and helping us understand it.
Thank you, Dana. I'll teach you the dance moves next time.
Okay, yeah, we got to work on those dance moves. All right.
He's going to teach her how to floss in Fortnite. Yeah, I mean, like, to me, this is the whole fucking thing, right? Retail companies not be the same. Shit, you guys are going real fast, okay? What do you say? I was much more nervous doing this in the Fortnite segment. I feel like, honestly, I might not agree with Slasher on every single thing that he says, whatever, but I think that he went on there and he represented us as, you know, I don't even like saying, I don't even consider myself a fucking gamer. I play WoW. I'm not a gamer, I play WoW. But I think that he did a good job in representing people that play video games and giving their perspective. So he did a great job. We're going to give the tweet a like, and that's great. Yeah, he did do a good job. That's a game. I feel like, I mean, it's different, right? If you're playing one game, I don't know. I just feel like it's a different way of looking at things, right?